All right, let's just jump right into it. What if I told you that the very foundation of who you are, your past, your experiences, everything that makes you you, is built on shaky ground? We're going to dig into a really wild idea today. Your memories aren't just a little fuzzy, they might be actively lying to you. Just take a second with that one. Every time you remember your past, you are actively destroying it. And listen, this isn't some philosophical quote from a poet. This is, believe it or not, a biological reality. We're about to look under the hood at the messy, creative, and totally unreliable machine that is your memory. So, first things first, we have to tackle what I'm calling the great memory deception. See, most of us have this picture in our heads of how our brain works, but the real science, well, it tells a much, much stranger story. Yeah, this really breaks it down. We love the myth, right? The idea that our brain is like this perfect, secure video vault. You want to remember your 10th birthday? You just find the tape and press play. But the reality is so much messier. Your brain isn't a vault, it's a storyteller. And every single time you recall a memory, it's not pressing play. It's rebuilding that story from scratch. So, if it's not a video file, what in the world is a memory? It's this, a memory web. Think about it. When you experience something, your brain doesn't just save it to one folder. It creates this incredibly fragile web, linking the sights from over here, the sounds from over there, the emotions, the smells, all connected across thousands of neurons. It's less like a solid file and more like a shimmering, delicate spider web. And if a memory is a fragile web, well, you can probably guess what that means, right? It means it can be changed. And that brings us to the really mind-blowing part, the actual mechanism your brain uses to constantly rewrite your own personal history. The fancy scientific name for this is memory reconsolidation. Sounds complex, I know, but the idea behind it is actually shockingly simple. Every time you remember something, you are also recreating it. And in that moment, when the memory is being recreated, it's vulnerable, it's open to change. This is the perfect way to picture it. Think of your memory like a Word document. When you decide to remember something, you're not opening a read-only PDF. Nope, you're opening the original document in full-on edit mode. And as your brain puts it back together, new stuff can sneak in. But here's the absolute kicker. When you're done, your brain doesn't just close the file. It hits Save As and writes this new, slightly altered version right on top of the old one. The original, it's gone. Forever. So if our memories are constantly being opened in edit mode, the big question is, what's doing the editing? Well, that brings us to the idea of the unreliable witness. All the little contaminants that sneak in and corrupt the story without you ever even noticing. And these are the main culprits. Your mood right now can change how you remember an event from 10 years ago. If you're happy today, you might remember an old argument as being less of a big deal. If you learn something new, your brain might just stick that new fact right into an old memory. Someone can even suggest a detail that never happened, and boom, your brain just might weave it into the story like it was always there. I absolutely love this quote because it gets to the why. Your brain's goal isn't to be a perfect historian. Its goal is to be a good storyteller. It wants a narrative that makes sense today. So, just like a bad journalist, it'll fudge the details, smooth out the rough spots, and maybe even invent a few things to make the story fit the person you are right now. And here's the really wild part. Your brain gives you zero warning it's doing any of this. It serves up these remixed, edited memories as if they are pure 100% accurate recordings of the past. It's not just incorrect, it's confidently incorrect. It's basically looking you right in the eye and casually lying to your face about your own life. Okay, I know, this all sounds kind of terrifying. If our past is basically a work of fiction, then what does that say about who we are? But here's where the whole thing pivots. This isn't a bug in our programming. It might actually be an incredible feature. This is about finding the power in this seemingly faulty system. This really is the central question, isn't it? If the foundation of our identity, our personal history, is actually more like quicksand, then what is the self? Who are we, really? And the answer, it turns out, is pretty profound. This isn't a mistake. It's not a design flaw. The reason our brains do this, the reason they edit our past, is that it's a feature. It's a tool designed for survival, for adaptation, and for growth. See, your brain doesn't want you to be chained to the person you were 5 or 10 years ago. It wants you to survive and thrive now.
As you learn things, as you grow, as you overcome stuff, your brain subtly updates your past to match the person you're becoming. Your memories change for a very simple reason, because you change. It's the sign of a healthy, fluid, adapting mind.
And that leads us to the big takeaway. If your past isn't some fixed, concrete thing that defines you, but a story that your brain is constantly retelling, well, that means you get a say in it. You have the power to shape that narrative. Who you are isn't defined by some rigid set of facts from your past. It's defined by the story you choose to tell yourself about it today.